Hi everybody, my name is Katya, who are you? Welcome to my channel. It's kind of a brand new channel that I have. I used to have a lot of Instagram and YouTube channels for various projects of mine. To are you, Trans-Siberian, best Russian food, then the Russian language. Now it's my vlog in Spanish and Russian, and this, I don't know, it's like 8th channel of mine. And the purpose initially was to practice English, and I welcome all of you. I've got some new subscribers recently. And yeah, basically every Wednesday I try to record something for you and share my mentality, mindset, some culture, maybe some stupid news. And basically today, as it's my English day, so I watched some things in English. Normally it's like a TED talk that I watched during my breakfast time. Today it happened that I went for my breakfast, and for the first time like in a week, because last week I went to St. Petersburg, and it's a totally different story because I lived there for 13 years, and in Moscow I've been living for 9 months, and I didn't miss St. Petersburg like at all. But it turned out that when I went out of the train, and it was snowing as hell, and I was like, what the fuck, like in Moscow it's already springtime, and now in St. Petersburg it was snowing. I was like, is it the way of treating Katya back here? And I went for breakfast there as well, and then in all these small cafes and all this city center atmosphere, and maybe because I went like in this springtime when it's not the high season, I could stay for really like super cheap hotel in the city center next to the apartment of Pushkin, Alexander Pushkin. And I'm such a fan of Russian literature. I've been talking about it recently, but I really wanted to stay in that area, right? Because a couple of weeks ago I watched a movie, a new like musical movie about Pushkin and his biography, and I'm such a fan. You know, I cried there. I recorded a vlog, and I did cry because yeah, it's something I really like, because talking like words and grammar and literature is how people express themselves. So it's something that is really my thing. I'm hearing like psychology, words, people, you know, and art in the end. And basically I felt really cozy there. I felt like everything was so cute, and it's way cheaper than Moscow. And I spent 3 days there. It turned out that well, one of my best friends, she bought an apartment with the help of her mother, but a new apartment in St. Petersburg, but she moved to Moscow because now she's got a boyfriend here, and she moved and left the apartment, but it's like has been refurbished just now, so it's so new and fresh and clean, like it's pretty after the refurbishment. And I saw her there. Suddenly we met there, and with all her friends from St. Petersburg, and we had such a nice time, just sharing, you know, and drinking some wine and talking. Like I was sitting on the floor. It was so stupid, but at the same time so, I don't know, something that I really like here in Moscow, because here I'm just sitting here in this apartment. And yesterday I read a post on Instagram that the pop psychology has made us more lonely, and they think that whole trend of thinking more about ourselves is like a huge bubble kind of thing that, of course, like, I don't know like where you watch these videos from, but here in our mindset and mentality, we used to really give out everything. And so not getting anything for yourself, and like lack of individualism, is something that is like gets on the edge. And then to come back to somehow a balance, you need to go to the other edge. And this is what all the feminist thing, I think, is about, that we get too far from on the other side, on the one side, and then boom, we need to go really far away from that side to kind of finally get to balance, get to something rational, and also something that it's okay for ourselves, right? So here it's something kind of the same, that psychology, that we had no idea. Like for us, it was very weird. I remember two of my best friends when we went together to Australia, or even earlier, like when I entered university, there were a lot of people, a lot of students of my age or like 1 or 2 years older than me who were like previously used to study in the United States. There used to be a program called Flex, or like I think work and travel kind of thing. And so they already lived there. They used to live in the United States and kind of absorbed kind of part of the culture. And for me, it was very weird. So they were sometimes too much, like too independent, or maybe were spending on some housing, decoration, some of the things that for me it was not normal to spend money to. And I was like seeing all that, but from the side, and I didn't, let's say, I wasn't part of that world. But with the years, with all of my experience, actually when I went to work in Chicago, it impacted my perception of Olya's, for example, mindset. One of those girls, like I really understood why she was so attentive, and when she was talking like in front of a public, doing public speaking, she was always so calm and like taking her time. And for us Russians, it's not normal. We are like kind of want to say things quickly, and we want to we are not used to listening to each other. And I felt that my only offline presentation that I made in Chicago was like that I was really, even though I knew that the project was not important for the school I was working for, like I would go back to Russia, they wouldn't care. It was like a project of implementing something like Spanish, better Spanish lessons, improved Spanish lessons for their students, and I made a presentation. But I knew that it was not as important. They were spending kind of their time listening to me, but I made a presentation, and when I was speaking, I felt that I was listened to. They wouldn't touch their phones. They would be just, looking at me and prestar atención, paying attention to what I'm saying. I was saying, and be just, attentive. And I heard, wow, like 30 minutes of such like 100% attention to myself, maybe something I never experienced before. So yes, there were 3 of us, and we went for our graduation in Australia. And I remember that moment that we rented out an Airbnb for us 3. It was like nice, not far from the beach, and all was good. And I remember we were not drinking at all, so we just went to sleep like normally. And in the morning I wake up and I only see one of my friends, so Olya and Christina, so only one of them is here. And where's the other girl? And we were like, I don't know, maybe she went somewhere. And I remember that, okay, like the other friend of ours, she comes back from some yoga class, so she woke up earlier and she went for a walk and randomly took a yoga class. And I felt like at that point I couldn't understand that one could actually take their time and space and just do whatever they want if they woke up earlier. Nowadays obviously I understand that better. But at that point I was always feeling that I'm lacking something if I'm not invited to a party, right? So that it would mean for my subconscious understanding of the world that they wouldn't accept me. Maybe they don't want me there. She wants to be alone. That she doesn't love me, basically, or kind of thing. That I was getting sad of the fact that I lost some experiences with my friend, and that she just chose herself over maybe some shared experience with us. Maybe she could wake us up and we could go together. And there we woke up and we lost like some hours. Of course, it's our responsibility, but I'm just sharing with you some maybe development of ideas of how, from where we come from, where we are right now. And it all gets to the point that I'm sharing today, is that the life gets way too individual. And from one point of view, I really like it, and I think there should be a balance, right? So that I'm not giving out my life for someone, like my stepfather, for example. He made me build him a banya, like a sauna for himself, when I was 15, and I was spending all my weekends just because like I was supposed to help my parents. I couldn't have my own teenager life. This is why when I got to St. Petersburg State University, I moved myself. When I was 16, I entered university for free. I moved to St. Petersburg. Obviously, my life got different, and I wanted to live just for myself, but I was not ready, because like the normality used to be to just, you know, not appreciate your life, and other people abusing that in a way, and taking out the years of my life. Yeah, I mean, parents is all good there, but you know what I'm saying? There should be a limit. The kid is a kid. It's not born to like build you a sauna. Especially like I wasn't even the daughter, I was like stepdaughter, and the guy who is now has basically nothing to do with me, and with his own daughter he wouldn't be so strict, but with me he would just lock me up in the house. The Sundays are for family. Boom. I could live my life. And so obviously individualism in that way is very good, and I'm living my life firstly, then you guys take care of yours. But then how does it happen that we end up in such a separated society, where in Moscow I experienced that here people just work so much and they have their free time just for themselves. Sometimes I get in contact with people via, as I compare, like I shared with you, with some apps. Now I don't use that, but anyhow, some friends of mine, they would like talk to me once every 2 weeks, once a week. And I'm like, okay, if it's my friend, like girlfriend, she's got her own life, she's working, I understand that, but I mean, I'm not working the whole day. I mean, I have 1 minute to just ask, how are you? Or just, you know, have somebody for more than just once a week. Why am I feeling so lonely? Why I've got like super nowadays I've got some developed social skills. I am social. I've got a lot of acquaintances everywhere. Online, I've got a lot of followers to talk to. Maybe I should do more like live transmissions, but it's not the real communication. It's not the, you know, the most important thing that you can share with maybe some moments, maybe some not such good parts of your life, maybe not just success and all these Instagrammable pictures. So currently I'm living the period when I want to be myself, and finding people who want me, and who are also searching for people who are not just pretending, not just making a picture of a perfect life. Because I'm tired of that. Being a blogger, they perceive you as this kind of, I don't know, just something else. I believe that sometimes I invited people over to my house, and I felt like they are not here for me or because of me. They would be here and say, wow, such a nice view out of your window. I'll be like, yeah, but I mean, so, and are you here because of that? Right? So I felt like it's not, and they would, like, if it's a guy, he would say, oh, and of course you are pretty too. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously it's kind of a price of success. Yeah, so I choose for myself like a place with a good view. But come on, right? So where is something more? I feel like people are not putting meaning into what they say and what they do. This is how the whole concept of relationship or talking to people becomes superficial, super superficial, very superficial, and for me it doesn't make sense. Why would I talk to someone who is not my family, who is not my friend, and I would just like chat with him for months, and we wouldn't get into any strategy in that communication? Like, do you like me? Do you like, what is that? So that there is no commitment at all. Maybe something I didn't know about a couple of years ago, maybe, but it's a pity, right? So I wish all of us to have a bit more of meaningfulness in our lives, in our words, because our thoughts make our words what we say, and then it results in what we do and how we live and who we are. and I really don't want to like that. I prefer being alone than having superficial relationships, but at the same time I feel like, okay, nowadays I'm in charge and I really need to invest my time and effort in explaining and already influencing people in that sense that hello, okay, hello, like family, that you can have your own problems, but please call me. Like, we are not living in separate worlds. We can talk, we can just share something, right? You don't have to live it all through alone. As well as I deserve a call, right? Something more than just, oh, you're pretty, on the comments on the social media. This doesn't make me feel loved, if you want to know. Sorry for being a bit maybe not too optimistic today, but this is a part of leadership, when you have to say things the way they are. The world is not perfect, but we can influence that. The way we treat people we love, with the way we treat our lives, ourselves, and that just a bit more of meaning into what's going on that TikTok world. My Instagram is Katya Choryu. I'm happy to see you here, and I hope you are experiencing now a very happy and fulfilled life, because it's our responsibility.